Alright, well, I started up the game. Well, let's continue it, shall we? I can skip the opening cinematics here. Oof, and all that. We'll load up our game. And here we are, back in Sid Meier's Colonization. So when we last left off, I picked up a seasoned scout in the home port of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, or today's Netherlands. It'd be Holland back then, I believe. And we're ferrying it back over so I can basically, unleash it onto the world. Alright, so here's our ship. And here's our seasoned scout. So seasoned scouts are basically exploration units. They're basically used for running around the map and finding out, what's in these treasures and what these guys want. They'll also be used later on for spying on European settlements, so unless you actually attack them, they're usually not that useful for that. Alright, so excellent. This guy's here and basically getting going. We'll take back some sugar, I guess. But before I go back, let's go up this way a little bit. We'll explore up here in the north a little bit here. Alright, so here's my guy. He's going this way, and poof! You find the ruins of a lost civilization. Within are gold and artifacts worth 360 gold. Cha-ching! So yeah, that's basically a nice thing about finding these early lost civilization ruins. Basically, they'll have rumors to stuff, and they could be good or bad, but usually they're good for you. I can build this dock now, so we're going to do that. So basically I can, get these guys fishing and get more food going on. More food and I can do stuff, basically. The DFuxa colony produces docks. So basically, that's something I note, by the way. When you basically, build it like that, you'll actually skip buying the wood for it. So you don't have to worry about, your wood being consumed when you, buy stuff like that. And what I'm going to do next, more or less, I'll get this guy to start building a stable, but what I really want to do is I want to start building a lumber house, or basically I want to get I can produce buildings faster in here. A lumber mill, I believe is what it's called. Actually, you know what? There we go, now I got a lot of food in here. Let's have you go work somewhere. Now this guy's doing some little mining for us. And there we go, lumber mill. A lumber mill is basically used for the purpose of basically, producing, buildings faster. So if I build a lumber mill, I'll be able to, basically double my, carpenter shop's ability to basically, produce, hammers, which is used for, constructing buildings. Which is good to have right at the start of my game, more or less. There's land over there. Alright, so, right now we're right next to, the capital of the Apache here. That's these guys right here. What I want to do at this point is say hi. So we're going to go here, and we're going to enter the Indian village. Your expedition has reached the camp of the Apache. The inhabitants are peacefully working in the surrounding fields. They wave at you happily. Ask to speak to with the chief is basically an option to see what they want. You can demand tribute or you can attack village. Right now we're just going to ask to speak with the chief. Greetings, traveler. We are a peaceful village known for our master sugar planters. We would gladly trade with you if you bring us some badly needed tobacco. We would also pay well for cotton or rum. So yeah, basically you can trade with the natives if you want to. And it's actually something you'll probably want to do eventually in the game. Looking at it right now though, this guy's probably going to be useful for selling rum to. Tobacco and cotton are raw goods. I probably won't really care to sell this guy, but rum is something I probably will sell to this guy at some point. Alright, so Apaches are pleased to welcome travelers from afar. Come sit by the fire and we will tell you the tales of nearby lands. Alright, so that's basically something to know. Basically, when you enter like a village for the first time, they'll basically tell you what trade goods they want, and then it'll give you like some sort of like buff basically for visiting them. That could be like as simple as basically here's like all the information on the nearby land. It could also be something like we'll upgrade your current unit, which is not a scout, to a scout. Though this one's a scout, so that wasn't an option. They could also give you money, and they could also do something else I believe as well. Now I'll note that, by the way, I'm actually right now friendly relations with these Indians. It's very possible that if these guys didn't like me at all, they could actually like tie me up and use me for target practice basically. So you have to be very careful talking to Indians if they're hostile to you. With a scout. If you're going to talk to them with a trade caravan, it's a little bit different. Alright, let's see here. You can go there. Ooh. Well, this guy's starting making his way back now. He's done a good job basically exploring the ways up here. Alright, this guy. How would you go right there? There's a brave unit right there. We're going to talk to this village. So basically we do this again, ask to speak to them. They're also master sugar planters, and they also want rum, coats. They also want horses. So we got one guy who wants rum, tobacco, and cotton. And then we got, the other one here. I'm writing down what they want here for future notes. This guy wants rum, coats, and horses. Now, I know you want to be very careful giving like natives like horses or guns, because that actually makes their units stronger. And by the way, sometimes you get nothing if you talk to them, so you have to watch out for that. Okay, you go this way. Oh, there's land up there. There's more Apache up here, apparently. Good to know. Sometimes Apache will be across the ways, by the way. And I'll note this is actually something I really don't like about this game. Basically, they'll have like Indian tribes separated by water. And while it's technically possible as like what they could do, these guys don't know anything about those guys over there. Realistically. Whatever. Little nitpick basically for an old game. They want this guy to go right here. You happen upon desperate survivors of a former colony. In exchange for badly needed supplies, they swear allegiance to Netherlands. So sometimes you'll get like free units, much like you do in like regular goody huts from like the old games. Okay, where do I want these guys to settle? I'll know at this point I'm actually thinking about selling more colonies, and I'm thinking what I want to do. I want to sell a colony right here, and I may want to sell a colony around here as well. Maybe right there. That might be okay to build right there. You really have to think hard and fast about where you're going to basically build colonies, because you want to basically maximize your like city space and such. Obviously. We just gotta go way back. How about you go here and we'll talk to this guy. So blah blah, this guy's a master sugar planter. He wants coats, rum, and horses. So basically got two villages here who want the same thing. Write that down. Now note that this is something you have to note, by the way. You have to remember all this stuff, or you have to write it down, because they won't basically, give you any like, in-game notes basically that, hey, I'm going to basically offer this or not, or that, basically. There's a lot of bad things about this game, but whatever. Just something to deal with. Alright, well, let's see here. I think we'll build right here, so let's do that. Here is going to be DFuxa Town. So welcome to DFuxa Town. Okay, you're gonna be a lumberjack for now, because I have to start getting wood for, my things. Now, note by the way, the scrub forest here, this is essentially desert with forest on it. Basically, in this game, you'll find, like, you'll have, like, deserts, and you'll have, like, Oh, you have like all different types of like land all over the place in this game. I only got the Tupi down here, that's good to know. And apparently there's silver in the hills. Though, that's actually a terrible location to get silver because, like, you know, it's basically next to a whole lot of mountain range, so I probably wouldn't worry about that silver up there too much. Silver is a really great resource to get early on in the game, but it's really hard to mine out, usually, because basically you have, like, a silver miner to really make it efficient, and you have to have, like, you know, a good access to it, basically, to mine it out, you know, and ship it to, like, out to, like, you know, the Amsterdam or whatever capital city you have. So hard to do. Alright, so religious unrest in the Netherlands causing an increase in immigration. Looks like we're going to pick up some Master Carpenters. Those are really good for an early game unit, much like the Scout. Basically, the Scout's good for looking around. The Carpenters are good for building up stuff, which early on you'll want to do a lot of, right? So, have you go right there. We'll have this guy visit down this way, I guess, for now. We'll say hi to Tupi. Looks like this guy's doing a pretty good job building roads, which is good to see. Okay, I want you to go to Amsterdam. Alright, now, something I've yet to do, by the way, but I'll note that there's a forest tile basically underneath, like, you know, my, like, town here. It's worth knowing that in this game, unlike, I guess, in isolation games, you can actually go into, like, your towns to actually, like, you know, clear forest. We're actually going to clear the forest in the town, so that basically it's a flat land. It'll basically turn into a swamp, and I think that'll mean I'll get a little bit more like minerals out of it, so we'll basically get more ore, I believe. Oof, excuse me. And ore will be good basically to basically ship off for selling. Ore is basically used for making tools and stuff, but early on it's better to sell it just for money, so that's what I'm going to aim to do with it. Let's have this guy go this way, I guess. Alright, so the Apache tribe is pleased to see the progress of our neighbors at the DFuxa town. We have come to offer you 20 sugar in recognition of the everlasting peace between our peoples. So, while you have good relations with the natives, by the way, they'll basically offer you free stuff sometimes, and it's actually something good to encourage, like, good relations with the natives, basically, as a result. And more sugar, I'm glad to see it. And what's nice is the fact I'm not actually producing sugar here, or I am, actually, never mind. Never mind. I thought I wasn't producing sugar, but I am. If I wasn't producing sugar, it basically means that, like, you know, I'd be, like, getting, like, two different resources there, like fur or something, but I'm actually producing the resources, so we can't really do anything about it. Alright, so the Tupi tribe welcomes you. We are a glorious nation of 5 camps, so unlike the other ones who are, like, you know, in the double digits, this guy's a very small tribe. So basically, they welcome peace, and they want me to come visit them, blah blah. There's a French over there. Okay, make my little bit of money scrap and all that, so we'll take the carpenter home. Or, you know, to the New World, rather. Alright, let's go pick up this lost room over here, I guess. I'll note, by the way, that this right here is like an ore deposit, so there's ore in the mountains that you can basically use for, you know, making, like, you know, minerals to basically build your tools. This is silver if you didn't catch a glimpse of what that's all about. Here's some prime cotton. Prime sugar is basically like, you know, one more we're getting over here is sugar, by the way, but if you have prime sugar, you'll get a lot more sugar of it. There's, like, you know, tropical forest of prime timber here. Prime timber is really good for making wood if you want to, like, build structures and such. That's cotton, I don't know if I pointed out yet. Over here is an oasis. Oases are basically good for getting food in deserts, so if you're in a really, like, hot and arid region, you want to basically build around oases for more, like, you know, food. Prime tobacco is basically good for tobacco. Minor games good for furs, but also for food. Fish is good for fish. Lots of good stuff. Conquistador DFuxa. Because of the recent developments in our ongoing war with the Barbary pirates, we have decided to raise the tax rate by 2%. The tax rate is now 2%. If you wish, you may kiss our royal pinky ring. Alright, so here's something I note, by the way. Basically, every so often the king will be like, hey, Conquistador, tax time. And they'll basically give you just two options. You basically do like a tea party type of idea where basically you can dump a good into like the river. Or you can basically decide to say, okay, I'll take the tax. Right now, 2% isn't that bad, but he's basically offering me to basically ditch my food. And food isn't that valuable early on, or later on for that matter, so we're going to hold a Fuxopolis food party. So, the Fuxopolis food party. The Sons of Liberty throw 21 tons of food into the Sea of Fuxopolis. Colonists refuse to pay new tax. Parliament announces boycott food. Food cannot be traded in Amsterdam until boycott is lifted. So basically, what happens, I can't trade food with Amsterdam or sell it and buy it and all that over there. So basically, food's now basically something I have to deal with on my own. But that's fine. Food's actually one of the best like things to actually have the tea party type of idea happen to. So we're good with that. Rebel sentiment is rising in the colonies, Your Excellency. 10% of our population supports the idea of independence from the Netherlands. As our colonists begin to feel more self-sufficient, they are also become more productive. Any colony with at least 50% Sons of Liberty membership receives a +1 production bonus. So basically, this is something. This is all what the game's basically all about, by the way. This is also like what the end game goal for this game is, by the way. You want to basically rebel from the king or the stadtholder in the case of the Netherlands. Basically, when I get to what is it, like 16... Not 69. It's 1702, I believe, that the American Revolution happened. Around that time, you're basically gonna be thinking about like revolting from like your home country. And when that happens, you're basically going to have to go to war with the home country, and you'll have a battle of independence, shall we say? We're not there yet for a long time, but it'll be there eventually. You find nothing but rumors. The worst thing to happen, or second worst rather. There's actually worse that can happen than that. Alright, let's have this guy go here. And then we can go talk to the capital in a moment. That Liberty music should cut out as soon as we end our turn here, by the way. Or not. It'll cut out on its own eventually, though. Alright, so we got ourselves a carpenter, that's cool. Alright, so it's more two-play down there, that's good to know. Alright, so these guys basically have the option for training seasoned scouts. Those are basically what this guy is right now. He wants tobacco, rum, or cotton, basically, so those are good deals to have, but I'm probably going to note that this guy's really, really far away, so I probably won't ever worry about trading with this guy. The tobacco, rum, and cotton is basically the same as the other guy, so... Tupe and Apache basically have the same stuff. I can still trade those guys, it's just that, it'll have to be by ship, more or less, not by wagon train or anything. Alright, so, we got ourselves a carpenter here. We're going to drop him in here into the carpenter shop so we can build up our lumber mill a little bit faster. And we'll have this guy start producing wood for us, so basically, he'll produce the wood that basically this guy will use to build the lumber mill. And then we'll build structures faster. Alright, now, because I'm basically producing lots of ore here, we're going to have lots of ore basically to trade in town. But before we deal with that, we're actually going to go to Fuxa Town here, I believe, and we're going to take up the valuable sugar over here. And, bad pathing is bad pathing, but whatever. I just gotta explore that way a little bit.
There's cheese bread, leave at least 2 pieces for him.
Alright, the price of muskets has gone up in price. Now, I'll note that, by the way, muskets are actually a very valuable commodity to have, but, there's not much you can do about it if it goes up in price. So, the Dutch founding fathers have announced that Hernan Cortes has joined the Continental Congress. So, basically, as go along, you'll basically get these founding fathers. Here's the first one, Hernan Cortes. I just had the option of selecting him among 5 others, but I've selected him for a specific reason you'll basically see later on. There's Hernan Cortes, the conqueror of the Aztecs, with his bloody sword. The Spanish conqueror of Mexico and destroyer of the Aztec Empire. Cortez is a peregrine conquistador, a master of conquest and plunder. Now, basically the reason I got him to join me was the fact that whenever you conquer a native village of this guy in your like, your Continental Congress, he'll basically cause it so that, that the native settlements that you conquer will always yield like some sort of like treasure for you. They'll yield it in greater abundance, and if you don't have galleons at all, you can basically transport those like treasures for free back to like the home country, so to speak. Next to the tax rate, basically. So he's an awesome guy to get. Alright, so next thing up, we basically have these 5 to pick up. We have William Brewster again. I might pick up him, but we'll look at the other guys first. We got Pyramid up here. So Pyramid is basically one of like the Dutch like founding fathers, I guess you can basically pick up. He's basically good for like, if you're building really near like Indians, but for the most part, I think we'll avoid picking him up for now. We can pick up him maybe later, perhaps. I'm not really near any Indian settlements. I don't plan to be near any for the moment, so we're pretty good at front. The French explorer who sailed down the Mississippi River into the Gulf of Mexico. So this guy is basically good for like, defense early on. He'll basically cause it so that any population center with 3 or more will build a stockade, which is very, very nice. But again, I'll probably not worry about it too much just yet. Paul Revere is basically an American patriot who served in the Continental Army. This guy is kind of interesting, I guess. Basically, if you have like, a colony with lots of like, rifles in it, and like, no one's actually defending the colony just yet, and like you get attacked, someone will actually go and grab the muskets that are like basically in stockpile, pick them up and actually point them at the enemy for you, so you actually have a defending unit. But I find that this guy's probably one of the weakest ones to have around, because you probably won't ever have that situation happen. You'll probably have like the actual guys guarding you. Or you'll actually be trying to keep good relations with the Indians, so that won't be an issue. And then Thomas Jefferson. He's probably one of the better ones to pick up in the game, but not very early on. The great U.S. statesman, framer of the Constitution, first President of the United States, Jefferson promoted the development of democratic institutions within the colonial America. And this guy's awesome if you have like statesman, but he's not really that good early on, so I'm not going to worry about him. What we're going to do is pick up William Brewster, who basically makes us have no criminals concerns appearing, and that's really good to have early on, because basically, if I get him early on, I won't have to worry about criminals that are like, indentured service showing up, basically. So, we'll pick up William Brewster right now. Alright, so that's done. Let's go talk to these guys. So these guys are also seasoned scouts, still want coats, rum, and horses. Those aren't too bad. So let's see here, Toupee. These guys want coats, rum, and horses. Now, I'll note that I might actually sell to the Toupee some horses, because basically they're so far away from me, I don't think I have to worry about them like ever attacking me, so they can be very good allies to have around. Alright, so here's an example basically that's going to give me some gold. Basically, this guy's giving me some 300 gold, doubloons for some beads, basically. Which is very, very nice. I didn't want that guy moving right there, but oh well. We'll move around the river. The horses have risen in price to 2 gold. At some point I want to actually buy horses to actually bring to a new world, but whatever. We'll get to that when I get to it. Alright, so here we are in Fuxa Town. Because I actually have lots of sugar here, we're actually going to pick some of it up, and then we'll take it home. I'll make lots of money selling it. So, before I do anything stupid again with this guy, we're going to make sure this guy manually goes over to Fuxopolis. Because if you don't manually, you control these guys, they're very, very stupid, so you don't want them being stupid on you. I find nothing but rumors again! Sucky. Now, I'm gonna guess, by the way, but I think this is ocean over here. Because we're actually getting to, toward the Arctic down here. And Arctic usually indicates that you're getting to, the end of the map, because, there's nothing to, past that, basically. Alright, so we got some pay criminals again. That's kind of sucky, but oh well. There's my lumber mill. Because I got this built, I can basically, produce at 12, hammers a second. Which is very, very nice. What I want this guy to start producing at this point now, I believe, is a church. And that'll help for immigration, so I can get more guys coming to, like, the New World. That's awesome. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go, 2 turns basically get there. Alright, this guy is going to walk right here. And I'll have him basically start chopping wood right there. Oh, look at that, there is more land down here. We got the Iroquois down in this direction, apparently. But you know what, we're actually going to start hustling it back over here at this point, because I want to actually, like, you know, get to the lost rumors and stuff that I've actually seen, you know, on the outskirts up here that I have yet to get to. You want to get the lost rumors real quick, basically. Alright, so here's the Iroquois tribe. They welcome you, but basically they got 11 villages. So they're basically average size in this game. These guys, by the way, don't come in random sizes, by the way, so they can sometimes have, like, you know, 1 settlement or 10 settlements or 30 settlements. They have lots of settlements or little settlements, basically, depending on, like, the map layout and, like, you know, how they are positioned on the map. 11 is fairly average, though. Alright, so these guys say hi. Ooh, they brought me tobacco, that's nice. Alright, so basically we're here in Fuxopolis. We're going to pick up the sugar here as well as a lot of this ore. And we'll transport to New World basically sold. So we want this guy to go boom, 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 and go to New World. We'll build that road right there. And yes, we're going to have this guy, you know, start making his way over to that lost rumor over there, apparently. Now, I will say this, by the way. I really don't think much of this game in some ways. And you haven't really seen a lot of it just yet. But basically, just from, like, you know, looking at the terrain, by the way, you notice that it's very, very forested. And I think at this point, basically from, like, the history, like, that we've basically learned of, like, North America before, like, the Europeans came, it wasn't just forested. They actually, like, did cultivate the land quite a bit. And in the case of, say, the Caribbean, for example, where, like, the Mayans were, they actually cultivated the land to the point where they couldn't cultivate it any further, and their civilization collapsed. Because they couldn't, like, cultivate it any further. But whatever. I mean, it's like, you know, an older game in an older time, so not much to complain about. Oh, wow! You have found one of the 7 cities of Kybolia. Treasures worth 42,000 unearthed in the ruins. It will take a galleon to get this treasure back to Europe. So, here's our first showing of a treasure unit. Treasure is basically used for the purpose of basically, like, you know, making you lots of money. And it's really awesome to find it at all. So, that's awesome. We'll actually have it wait right there for now. I'm basically going to have to start moving us back toward the sea here. And I'll basically see what I'm going to do with these guys right now. Because, basically, I'll note this, by the way. Hernan Cortez has an exploit. And there's a reason I basically picked him up. And we're basically going to ferry him back over to, like, you know, right here, for example. And I'll see what's going to happen with him in a moment. Alright, so there's my pet criminal. Boom, boom. What we're going to do with this guy, by the way, we're actually going to arm him with muskets and horses, I think. So, we're going to equip him with horses. And we're going to arm with muskets. So, for those who don't know, basically there's, like, you know, I guess, like, 3 types of military units in game. You basically have, like, you know, soldiers and dragoons, which are basically guys with guns not horsed, and guys with guns who are horsed. The dragoon is basically, like, you know, a really, like, I guess, like, you know, Continental time type of era unit, but whatever. Basically, he's going to be joining us in our, like, you know, this guy's going to basically join us in killing stuff. By the way, I'll note you'll see, like, you know, an X over here basically indicates a boycott. And that basically means I can't buy or sell food in, like, you know, the Netherlands here, so that's what that's all about. So let's see here. That's awesome. Basically, we got this guy like this. Now, note, by the way, if you want to, you can actually recruit more people. And I'm actually seeing, like, 2 good guys to recruit right now. Firebrand Preachers and Elder Statesman. I might get them sooner or later, but I think what we're going to do right now, we're just going to go and buy some tools. Basically, you can, like, you know, drag and click to basically drag stuff to be basically bought like this. And that'll basically make it, let's say, like, you know, I got tools over here. And you know what? Let's actually buy some more tools. And why not? More tools. We're gonna build lots and lots of tools. Now, note by the way, as you buy stuff like this, you'll see like prices go up and down. You know, if you like sell a whole lot of goods, basically the prices go down. If you buy a whole lot of goods, the prices go up. Basically, I bought 600 tools there, so now the price has risen to be like 2 or 3. So you have to be very careful when you like buy or sell in town, but whatever. All right, so this guy's over here. We'll have this guy go right there, and we'll talk just like, you know, Irkod village right here. So greetings, travelers. We are a peaceful village known for our excellent ore miners. They have tobacco, coats, and cloth. I won't worry about this stuff down here, but I might want the extra ore miners at some point. And here's the nearby lands. Alright, so this is definitely ocean down here, by the way, because basically, like, if you see a lot of like dark spots from like a reveal like this, it means that this is like all ocean. So that's all ocean down there. And with that in mind, I'm going to send this guy down this direction, hope that it doesn't get attacked by that nativist moving next to. That might have been really stupid, because these guys will sometimes attack treasure if it's right next to him like that. He didn't though, so that's good. Oh, there's the English. The English are red in this game. Alright, this guy is going to move this way. There's the ocean right there. Move this guy right there. More sugar, that's always nice to see. The Spanish loot and burn Cherokee capital. Natives flee in panic! So, this is something I'll see a lot in this game. Whenever, like, you know, natives get, like, their cities burned and stuff, basically you'll get a little, like, you know, exploit that says, like, the European power of this guy did this to this, like, you know, native civilian town, or capital in this case. If it's a capital, basically it'll loot more. If it's, like, you know, like a normal, like, village, it's going to be worth less. That's actually something to note by as well. Because the Spanish have, like, you know, a bonus to, like, conquering natives, you'll often see them attacking natives quite a bit in the game, so they've already started to attack, like, the Cherokee apparently here, and they've already killed the capital, which is interesting. Alright, these guys are going to go this way. Now, this is a bit of an exploit to show off, but basically what I'm going to do here, we're going to press build to basically build, like, a town here, and we'll call this Depot 1. And the reason I'm basically building a depot here, for example, have you wait, is to move this guy in here. Conquistor DFuxa! We are most pleased at the amount of plunder and booty your conquistors are obtaining in a new world. We do not wish you to be distracted by tasks of transporting this marvelous treasure home to the Netherlands. If you wish, we shall transport the treasury home in our own royal galleons for no extra charge. Once our assessors have taken a percentage equal to the current tax rate, 0%. So basically, if you have Hernan Cortez, you can actually get these like galleons for free. If I didn't have Hernan Cortez, what would happen basically? The king would basically send a galleon to basically help me out, but it would basically take 50% off of like the current value of like the treasure I basically got. So I'd basically get half the amount. But because basically I got Hernan Cortez, I basically get like, you know, full credit for it basically as a result. And because I don't have a tax rate, I'll get full for that as well. So very well, let the crown claim its rightful share. Dutch treasure fleet, laying with 42,000 in gold, arrives safely in Amsterdam. Crown takes 0% share. 42 credits added to the Dutch treasury, so boom boom boom. I got money! I'm rich! Alright, so this guy. I want this guy to actually drop off his horses at this point, so what we're gonna do with this guy, by the way, we're actually gonna like this. I'm gonna make this guy become Pioneer, which is excellent. Basically now I've got 100 guns here, and I've got some horses basically being bred, which is fine, because basically the horses will breed and I'll basically get more of them. And basically this guy's now a Pioneer. He's basically gonna basically do a job of like, you know, making stuff for me to like, total land, stuff like that. While we're at it though, we're actually gonna like do this guy too. Make this guy Pioneer. Colonist for now, I guess. And we'll drop the tools off again. So basically now I've got like, you know, 2 criminals here working their efforts basically to make a whole lot of like, you know, Pioneer stuff for me. That'll be their job. And we'll send this guy down to DFuxa town. Now, something I forgot to do, by the way, I actually wanted to expand this town right after making it, because once you basically deposit your goods, you don't really need to keep this guy in here, so we're going to turn this guy back into a scout. So yes, it is God's will. It's black. Yeah, it's basically a bit of an exploit what you did there, with, like, you know, forming a town, basically do that. They don't actually let you do that in, like, you know, the sequel, like, you know, rehashed version, redux version, with a Civ 4 engine, but it's basically something you can do in, like, the original game. We have an exploit, but whatever. You guys wait. Apparently this guy isn't doing anything, so we can't do anything there. Let's have these guys go like this. There we go. They're now, like, moving in this direction to DFuxa town, which is fine. So, Spanish report Spanish treasure fleet is laden with 16,000 gold from the, you know, Cherokee capital is basically made to Seville. They've got some money. Fuxopolis produces a church, which is great, because basically churches are used for, like, you know, attracting, you know, immigrants to come. So zoom the colony. I want this guy to start building up. Let's see here. A blacksmith shop would probably be really good to get right now. But let's start getting ourselves a stable, I guess, for more horses for now. Basically, as you can see, the horses are going up slowly. They're basically breeding, which is great. And if I get like 100 horses here, I'll basically be able to build like another dragoon basically as a result. So that's great. Our pioneers should to colonize status after using all those tools. And that'll happen, by the way, when you like basically like, use up your tools, but whatever. You're gonna build a road right there. And you're just gonna march your way over here. Alright, so now that I basically have built, like, you know, the town and, like, basically done all that stuff, well, this guy will go back to exploring. Spies report Iroquois raiding party wreaks havoc in English colony of Plymouth. So apparently the English are near the Iroquois. That was actually really good information to know, because basically if I sell horses to them, they'll actually be able to fight the English a little bit better, so that's good to know. Alright, so this guy's actually building lots of wood down here. I want this guy to actually start converting his, you know, wood into, like, you know, docks down here. We get this tobacco and this sugar. And I'll send it back to the New World. Get that guy over there. You're gonna go in here and we'll pick up tools again, so make this guy a pioneer. You're gonna build road right there. You're gonna go this way to look around. Apparently we got ourselves, you know, a bit of land shooting out like over here. So this is like a peninsula of some sort. There's a Turkey, or the Iroquois capital, by the way. But you know what? At this point, we're actually getting, like, you know, pretty far into, like, this episode. Let's just save it right here. And I'll continue next time from this point on, and we'll see how I go. Hope you guys have enjoyed the, you know, series thus far. I'll keep going, and we'll keep showing off this game, and we'll see how far I go. Take care.